All right, so here's my first impressions of the Topdon Phoenix Elite. I just got this, so I haven't actually really used it yet. I've been using the Topdon Phoenix Lite, which is this one, which it's not a bad tool. It's a rebranded launch product. So, I mean, it does what it needs to do. I mainly use it for ADOS calibrations and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's still a good scan tool for other things. I just kind of wanted something that was a little bit bigger, a little bit more capable. So I did get this. It just got in the mail today. And it seems to be a pretty impressive tool so far. So it'll do quite a bit of stuff. For instance, it'll do ADOS, which is pretty important to me. It looks like you can do, it has a Bluetooth battery tester that I'm assuming you get from Topdon, which I will not be using. But you have that. You have all kinds of services, you know, your regular everyday air fuel stuff, brake resets, oil resets, blah, blah, blah. But then you can also do immobilizer coding and programming. You know, there's special tools you have to buy with this in order to do that. You can do, you know, your run-of-the-mill, every kind of scan tool can do type of thing. It also does online coding, which is in the settings for some reason. But it supports online coding for a bunch of cars. I don't really have any of these, and I haven't actually tested the coding compatibility with it, so I don't know how well it works or if it is something, you know, worth buying this tool specifically for. But it also, the big reason I bought this is because it has, like, unlike the Phoenix Plus or even the Phoenix, I forgot what the top end one was, but they don't have FD CAN adapter, or CAN FD, whatever the orientation of that word is. But this does. It has it built in. So, 2021 Silverado. So I unplugged my mask too, so I don't know if this thing's gonna run weird. Oh yeah, it's running rough. So we'll shut it off. I unplugged my mask just so it would pull fault so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. So basically you just go into auto scan, runs through. Then boom, instantly pulls up the topology map, which is really nice. I noticed too, it's kind of like they're kind of imitating Altel slightly with the ADOS section, and just pulls up all the possible modules this truck could have that's related to ADOS, which is kind of nice, and it's kind of a gimmick at the same time. So you can just go into your regular system list if you want. You have common functions. You can go straight into ADOS calibrations, which is nice. You can pull up a vehicle configuration, which on this vehicle, it's probably not very useful. So if you just hit Smart Scan, it'll just start pulling faults. This tool's pretty quick. I mean, I haven't really used it legitimately yet. This is just my vehicle, and it's obviously pretty new, so I haven't needed to use it to actually do real work. But so far, I mean, this tool seems pretty dang impressive with all the stuff it can do, especially for the price. I mean, compared to Altel, it's kind of a no-brainer to go with this, as opposed to like a 908 Elite or something like that, in my opinion. I mean, the 908 Elite usually will come with a J2534 pass-through, but I mean, that pass-through is only good for only so many makes and models, especially with a lot of the newer cars out now that require 3-4 can lines. That pass-through isn't super handy anymore. So to justify the extra $2,000 or so to get a pass-through, But here you go. So now it pulls up all these faults, which is kind of cool. So you can go to report, and then I have all my business stuff in here. It's pre-repair. You can add like your business logo, everything, so it looks super professional. And then basically this is what it looks like. And so when you print it out, it'll display these faults, but here's what the faults are. So that's just a report. So that's something, if you want to print it out, send it to your customer, you can. And then you can go into diagnostic plan. So this doesn't specify in the user's manual what the purpose of it is, but I'm assuming this is just kind of giving you, what you should chase first as far as faults go. So, because if you tap it, it just displays it in a different window. So I don't know the point of this exactly. But say you can go into ECM. So as soon as you click on that, it will bring up the faults that are in the module. And then you can display the faults, DTC data. So there's that. And then so you can pull the freeze frames if you want. You can do code search, which is nice because Chrome is built into this tablet, which is pretty sweet. So it'll automatically Google that fault. You can go straight to a data stream, and then you can figure out what data you need to diagnose it. And then from here, you can go back, clear DTCs. They're not going to clear because the mass is still plugged in. They're going to come back. But it'll clear the faults. And then, so say, what's nice too, so say if I start the truck, go back into the ECM, we'll do read data stream, let's say fuel trim, we'll just select all, click OK. And so now you can kind of see what's going on here. And what's nice too, so you can basically graph this. So you hit the graph, and it's going to graph it. But if you want to look at other stuff at the same time, so say calculated, airflow. So this is, it all puts it all on the same graph, which is nice. And then you can just pinch to zoom, which is super sweet. Instead of like snap-on scanners or Autel where you're like trying to push zoom buttons and all that. Then come back. I'm gonna turn my truck off. So you have all that. Now read faults again. We'll just do it in here. See what it says. Okay, clear DTCs. So it's pretty quick. I mean, definitely move quick through the tool. So far, I mean, it seems like a good tool. Feels like it's going to be better than the other Topdon that I have. We'll put it to the test, see what it's capable of, what it's not capable of. I'm super curious with the key programming, immobilizer programming. It looks like it supports pulling pins, all kinds of other stuff. So it seems like it could be pretty competitive with, like, say, the Autel IM608, which I was also debating on buying. So if it can do a lot of that stuff, I mean, this tool will be very useful. But let's see if it'll even let me get into this. So yeah, I'll pull it up. Let's see. GM. So anti-theft password reading. I don't have anything plugged in, so I don't know. So I'm not sure exactly how capable this thing is with all the key stuff. I haven't really needed to use it or, you know, mess with it too much, but definitely will be a plus if it can do all that as well. And it'll save me from having to buy another tool. But so far, I mean, it seems like a pretty impressive tool. It's going to get the job done. And then here is the Chrome that's built in. So you can log in. So I'm on my Chrome account, and then it's basically just like a regular browser. So, yep. But so far, I mean, seems like it's well worth the $1,800, and we'll see what it can do.